Welcome back to the first of the worst podcast. I'm Brendan Murphy.
And I am Steve Arendas.
And Steve, this week we are going to be talking about the supernatural for the first time, I believe, in the history of this podcast, if you want to call it that.
I mean, it's kind of supernatural. I guess what we're going to talk about curses,
and jinxes and superstitions.
Yeah, things of that nature.
I think we're just calling it curses and jinxes, right? I don't know if we branded this. I wanted to call it anti-scientific theory, but I think that's too vague.
So you brought this up to me. You said you got in an argument with somebody and said you couldn't guarantee that curses don't work.
Yeah, well, that's because that's how the world works. You cannot guarantee anything.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So he was like, "Well, you can't guarantee they don't exist," and I was like, "Well, you're right." Like, it's far more likely that they don't than they do.
Yeah. So 0 to 10, 0 being there's no curses don't work. 10 they do. What do you got curses at?
0.
0.1. No, you got to go full number. You got to go full number.
1 then.
Okay. So then
the lowest possible integer you would allow.
Are you a ghost guy then? What do you think about ghosts?
1. All of that, I think there's very little chance. But
witches.
1. Are you just gonna go through the list and have me say 1, 1, 1, 1, 1?
You're just gonna say 1 everything? Okay.
Vampires. What? I mean, yeah.
No, that's 0. There's no such thing as vampires. That's fucking crazy. Witches 2. Vampires, no fucking way.
I'm in a weird place energy-wise right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am podcasting from my bed.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, guys. I'm looking
weird?
at.
You don't have to look at the imagery. If you want to just pull up something else and just listen to the audio, that's fine.
It's kind of bizarre what's going on. Yeah. Okay, so let's just get into this. Did you do much research here? This was actually like harder for me to research. Like there was a couple that I just didn't put on my list because I didn't want to read about them anymore. I was bored.
I did the normal amount of research, but there was less resources, so this was harder to fill out, in my opinion.
Okay. So let's just get into it. This might get weird. It might not. What's your number 10?
My number 10 is theater-related superstitions, and I mean, I didn't even want to put this one on, but you know, it was a thin draft pool today. I don't know what to say.
So what theater-related superstitions?
No whistling in the theater. You can't say Hamlet in the theater. I didn't write any other ones down.
I didn't know any of these things.
Well, I did some plays in my youth, which I should be embarrassed to admit. I just don't like thespians. And the thing is, with something like this, because their natural inclination for the dramatic, they will play it up to the 1000th degree.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
So it's super obnoxious, as, by the way, are all of these.
I don't know. I think some of these are true. All right, my number 10. I don't know if you know about this curse.
I'm guessing I do. After 25
minutes it's not any of the lists that I saw.
Oh, okay, all right.
It's a curse I think is 80% chance of being true. It's the curse of Chief Illiniwek.
Okay, I didn't know that one.
So for all of those who don't know, the chief was a racist mascot the University of Illinois had. For not a mascot, just whatever. You can argue that, whatever. But he was this white dude dressed as an Indian dancing around. And Illinois didn't have the ability to pay off a tribe like Florida State. So he had to go away. But since that year, in 2007, the year of The Last Dance, before that, the University of Illinois made 10 of 11 NCAA tournaments, 1 NCAA final, 2 Elite Eights, and that season went to the Rose Bowl. Guess what's happened since then?
I'm going to guess 3 bowl games.
No, there's like 2. And they were like 6-win bowl games. Numerous players have been arrested. The once proud basketball franchise has gone to garbage. Yeah, is
that something people actually bring up? Or if you just kind of make it up?
Weirdos. But yes. But yes, they're the same people
none of my friends losing the chief.
None of my friends have brought it up, but I've seen it like on message boards, which are the places you'd expect it to be.
That is just a great idea exchange, message boards.
Yeah.
right, so the curse of the chief.
Curse of the chief. My number 9. I don't know if this counts as superstition or curse or what. Kind of falls into this type of world. Just bad things come in threes.
That's definitely one that I read in my research. I don't disagree. I don't agree with it. Everything here can be true, but it's just happenstance. That would be my take. So yeah, maybe 3 really shitty things happen successively, but that is just beating the odds.
The best
like
is
a good thing didn't happen between them.
It always happens with like celebrity deaths, but like the third celebrity death is like they're stretching, or like they go back really far to count the first one.
Yep.
What's your number 9?
Like they'll be like Bowie, Prince, that random guy from the Eagles who recently died. It wasn't. Was it Don Henley? Someone worse than those two.
It was Fry. Fry.
Oh, it was Jim Fry. Yeah, worse.
I mean, worse. To be fair, like lead singer of like the most selling band in American history.
Yeah, but most selling doesn't mean goodest.
Hey, stats.
You know what means goodest? Nothing, because that's not a word. This is actually one that another argument I got out with the same friends was about the best American rock bands. Did we do that on a podcast?
No, we haven't.
Because it's not actually. It's a pretty thin list. It's because the best bands are all British, and then you have like Bruce Springsteen, the E Street Band. But if that doesn't really count,
just count the E Street Band, but they don't even have a guy who
then
sings.
You get into a place where it's like Pearl Jam is actually in the discussion, and like it's really thin.
The Eagles, man.
Like the band. Oh, the Eagles. There's like we argued about the Eagles because I think they suck balls.
I'm pretty neutral on the Eagles, to be fair.
You're not a witchy woman kind of guy.
I mean, I enjoy some harmony, right?
They got the harmony down.
I enjoy some harmony from time to time. That's about it.
And they got the rock star drama down.
Yeah, they got that. But it's kind of boring. They're like the old version of Coldplay. Like Coldplay is like the current version of the Eagles, where it's just like boring.
I would compare them to like since Coldplay clearly compares to U2, except they were never as good as U2 was at its apex, but they are as annoying as U2 is.
Yeah, but they're way more boring. Like their music is boring, and I feel like the Eagles' music is boring.
So I would compare the Eagles to the Foo Fighters because the Foo Fighters just make the same song over and over again, and they're always around. And
except the Eagles had hits.
The Foo Fighters have one hit; they just recorded it 19 times.
The Foo Fighters might be the most overrated band ever, but that's a whole other story.
They suck. They suck so much. See, that whole conversation just devolved into someone suggesting a band to me and be like, they suck. Be like a total asshole, dismissive fuck that I am. Even though I've never picked up an instrument, and I hate that argument, but like, it is a point. It is a point to take. At some point, if you think everything is terrible, but you can't play a single note on anything, you should probably shut the fuck up. I mean, I could logically remove myself from the situation and see that, but I can't actually do it in the moment.
Not during an argument.
No.
Oh, you don't have no. I get that argument, but it's a flawed argument. You don't have to be a cook to know food sucks. Like,
yeah, but in my opinion, you do have to be a foodie.
Yeah, but a foodie is like not even a real thing.
Well, I think to be a foodie, and this has gone well off the fucking rails pretty early. I think to be a foodie, you should also cook good food. Not a chef, but like you can't just go out to eat a lot and be like, I'm a foodie. That just means you're rich and probably aspiring to be fat.
Yeah, you're either fat or pre-fat.
You're either fat or pre-fat.
All right. Did we even get to your number 9, or if we got off the rails?
Even got to my number 9. This podcast will end in 3 hours and 26 minutes, folks. If you want to pause it, we're at the 11-minute mark here. My number 9. I don't know. Honestly, I have no conviction. And occasionally, I'll say this about a list. Where like, first of all, I'm apathetic about the topic, as I mentioned earlier. So I'm apathetic, so the whole thing, which is why this is terrible, because the whole thing is bullshit to me.
It was your idea too. It's the best.
It was my idea. No, it's gonna be funny, but like I'm never gonna have strong conviction about anything.
Okay. What's your number? What's your number 9?
This will be a good podcast, but I think that the entire topic is almost equally bad. It's the Madden and SI cover jinxes. I combined them.
Oh,
cover jinxes.
Okay. I had it on my list, and I think I actually just forgot to write it down on my final list. And I was gonna count the Madden list because I feel like it has a higher percentage than the SI list.
The thing about the Madden list is it's actually just logical that you would have a worse year because once you get to be famous and you're probably less good. You're probably less good.
And like football, you get hurt.
Yeah, so like that's totally logical. The SI cover jinx.
It's total bullshit, dude. There's 52 covers a year. Of course, the people are gonna have some bad weeks.
And who's been on the cover more than anyone?
It's like Michael Jordan.
Yes, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, it doesn't like it's 52. Like there's 52. It doesn't affect swimsuit models apparently. That's just
it has the it puts you in movies if you're a swimsuit model.
It doesn't affect swimsuit models. It's the reverse. So there's that. It's got that going for it. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is the Madonna jinx. This is I
don't even know that one.
Basically, if you start dating Madge, your career goes to shit. There are innumerable.
Whoa! When did Scottie Pippen date her?
What about Pippen didn't date her?
Oh, he did.
You're thinking of Are you thinking of Rodman?
No. Scottie Pippen.
When?
Look it up, man.
Okay, well, we'll come back to that.
There was a known story from back in the day. It's like she wouldn't get with Jordan because she was with Pippen because Pippen apparently he's got something going for him.
What I heard,
that the ladies know about.
It's not his generosity with servers.
No, it's not. But he might be giving more than the tip to some people.
No tipping, Pippin, all shaft.
Yeah, there's some rumors about he lost that apparently him and Jordan battled for Madonna and Pippen won.
Jordan was married the whole time. I'd like to say that maybe it was a moral play, but it's not.
So wait, who are these people? I mean, guess Guy Ritchie hasn't really had a hit movie.
Guy Ritchie, that's a brutal one. Jose Canseco had his career year, and then snuck into Madonna's apartment. A-Rod went to shit.
Yo, yeah,
it's 3 pretty solid examples right there.
That's pretty good. I mean, you could probably go Kardashians, at least with athletes.
I mean, who's come out better for it? We don't know about Kanye yet.
I mean, his last 2 albums have been good, not as good. He's got his but Lamar Odom almost died, dude.
Oh yeah, Chris Humphries. It cost him millions of dollars because Chris Humphries was like a pretty average NBA power forward. And pretty average in the NBA makes you very rich.
He was like almost not in the league right after.
He was toxic,
but for no reason.
Just like people didn't want that circus around them.
Then there was remember Miles Austin? He was good. He was a pretty good wide receiver. And then
he dated a Kardashian? Bush.
Yeah, Kim.
Really?
Yeah. Reggie Bush?
Yeah, Reggie Bush was kind of shit the whole time.
But James Harden didn't have the greatest year last year. It wasn't bad, but he definitely took a little step down.
He's the best athlete a Kardashian has dated, correct?
I would venture to guess so, yes.
To our knowledge.
Who is Courtney's currently dating, not Courtney. Chloe's currently dating Tristan Thompson.
Okay, good for him.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good for him one, I think.
He's significantly younger than her.
He's significantly younger than her. He's just going to get a little more famous out of it. I don't think that's going to really hurt him.
Yeah, he's pretty anonymous.
Yeah,
exactly. As long as he don't fall in love, kid.
He already makes tons of money. He already makes
because he's like a pretty. Because not to go back to our earlier point, but he's like a pretty average NBA power forward.
Yeah, he already got his money before dating a Kardashian, so he won't get ruined afterwards. It's good. It's good play by him. All right. That was your number 8. Was it the Madonna one?
The Madonna jinx.
Okay. I'm gonna go with my number 8. Did you maybe stumbled upon this one in your research? I don't know. The Curse of Sinatra.
Yeah, I have it higher. I think it's hilarious.
It's
some of these curses are very violent.
Yeah. For anybody who doesn't know, apparently, if you're ever in the Philippines, just do not sing "My Way" karaoke, because 6 people have just been murdered, like while doing that in the Philippines, which seems like that those numbers shouldn't add up to that.
It's not. I don't know. It doesn't seem like. Yeah. I was just gonna say it's not a very big country. I have no concept. It could be like the 6th biggest country in the world for all I know.
I think a lot of people live there. I think a lot of people live there. But yeah, just it's a little tip. It's a little tip we're giving you guys.
I love the idea. I love this because I love the idea, and I guess I'll just go with my little jokes and information. Okay. I love the idea that there could be like Quentin Tarantino could make a movie in Asia someday, and this could actually take place in a scene. It'd be so awesome.
It should.
It's cinematic.
It should happen.
It's just such great drama to it.
Yeah, but like little part of me wants to like see somebody perform it there, like not get killed, but I just want to like watch somebody like do it, and then like it would be really tense. It would be like a Tarantino scene to me.
Oh, like, dude, you'd be bold.
I would never do it.
Maybe places don't let you do it anymore.
I bet a lot of places don't.
Like Nelly's EI. No one lets you karaoke that anymore either. It's just not in their books.
Is that a thing?
It's just not in any of the karaoke books. I don't think it's a curse or anything.
What Trader Todd's? Isn't there some artist you can't do at Trader Todd's? Is it no Bob Seger?
Oh, God willing. Not to be the guy who says everything sucks. But he does suck.
Okay. I'll listen if I can bring up more old music acts that were popular so you could say they sucked during this podcast. My number 7. Did you read about the Iceman curse?
I saw it. It looked cool. I didn't actually. Again, it required a lot of reading, so I was just like,
yeah, you had to pick and choose your battles when you were reading up on some of these because of how long they were. So this Iceman was found in the Alps, and apparently, when they did their carbon dating, whatever, the dude was like 5,000 years old, like frozen in ice, and 7 people of the people who found him died of unnatural causes. And this is not just like they didn't just die on the mountain, like just later in life, like bad things happened to them. That seems like legit curse. The one thing I couldn't find out, though, so maybe it's not even that big, is that I couldn't actually find out how many people found him.
Okay. So it could have been like
was it 10 people who found him and 7 of 10 died, or was it like 100? That really, that information could move it up or down this list.
There's a few like that where people associated with something just went to shit.
Yeah, there are a few.
Did you see the Poltergeist curse? Not to bring it up. I just figured you probably didn't do all the.
I didn't do it because it was too much reading.
Yeah, it was the same type of thing.
Yeah, there was a few. So yeah, that were kind of like that. So I think I chose that one. None of the other ones I have are really like that. What's your number 7?
My number 7 is Rasputin. Rasputin's curse.
What did Rasputin? What happened?
He was assassinated, and then the whole royal family was executed in the 1900s, except Anastasia.
So wait, who executed?
All right, so
sorry, I'm really
okay. Pardon me. Rasputin was banished from the palace by Tsar Nicholas.
Okay.
And he put a curse in the family that they will all die, and not until they die, and that they will be destroyed forever. Some bullshit.
Okay.
And then there was the Russian Revolution, and they all were murdered.
That works.
Except potentially Anastasia.
But potentially?
Well, Anastasia is like one of the great unknowns ever.
I really don't know anything about Rasputin, apparently. It's like a real blank spot in my knowledge. I just know there's a beer called Old Rasputin. Like, that's my Rasputin knowledge.
Don't you hear, like, if someone's like, if you don't die, that motherfucker's like Rasputin? You've never heard that kind of stuff?
Literally, I've never heard that in my life.
Oh, yeah. Like
Blank spot. I got a blank spot there.
it's like the Sopranos guy who's in the woods. That's like Rasputin.
Okay.
Although
Okay.
I don't actually know. So one huge piece of context that I don't know is if he was banished or if he was murdered.
It's all the same.
Yeah. So like, let's not send this one to the History Channel because I might have totally just fucked up that. But they all were killed. That I'm confident.
Was that your 7 or 6?
That was my 7.
What's your 6?
My number 6, another historical family, the Kennedy curse.
Oh, I got this one higher. I thought you'd for sure have this one higher.
I don't know, but it's sad for me because these are my people.
Oh yeah. So like, let's list them off.
Okay, we got 2 assassinations, JFK and RFK.
Yeah.
You have actually the oldest Kennedy.
Joe.
I don't know if this really counts as a curse because a lot of people died in the war.
I know. That one seems tacked on.
But he did die in the war. You have Teddy driving off a bridge with a woman with whom he was having an affair in Chappaquiddick.
Junior?
Yeah.
Yeah, Junior?
Yeah, you have JFK Jr.
Probably be president right now.
I said that a couple weeks ago. I mean, this would be his term. The Bushes and Clintons would be like, fine, go ahead. The other dynasty can have their turn. We'll just all take turns. I'll tell you right now, Jeb's gonna be the Republican nominee in 4 years. After this fucking just
no, he's not. He's gonna run. He's gonna run against an incumbent.
He's gonna. President Gary Johnson will have his work cut out for him, but I think Jeb could take him.
The polls are like even now, which is terrifying. As of like this recording,
that's you can't ask people the same question every day.
You can't.
They will eventually be like, "Stop asking." Fine, I fucking changed my mind. God damn it. So that's pretty. I mean, like, and then a litany of DUIs across the family. But again, I don't know if that's curse or just predisposition to alcohol in your genetics.
I don't know. Seems like it could be a curse. We just don't know where it came from.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a lot of dying.
All right, here's the thing. Everyone just okay. So
didn't one commit suicide recently?
One of them had a wife who killed themselves.
Oh, okay, yeah. There's something like that.
Fairly recent.
Yeah, I knew there was something of that nature. Yeah.
If so obviously JFK and RFK were not engaging in high risk behavior by just being politicians. Really, haven't been any assassinations of that profile since in America, right? I mean, Martin Luther King, RFK, JFK.
There's been an attempt, which I'll get to. I'll get to the final attempt in one of my lists.
Okay, since then there hasn't been any major assassinations that I can think of.
81 was the last shot at one.
So okay, they weren't really engaging in high risk behavior; they were just existing. But Teddy was drunk driving. JFK Jr. was flying essentially a I don't know what you call them. Those planes crash all the time. A non-commercial airliner.
Yeah, especially in New York. Didn't some pitcher die?
Yeah, Corey Liddell.
Yeah.
He it was really funny because weeks before that he called it. So they have the show in New York called Mike and the Mad Dog.
Yeah, it's just Francesco.
They're like the worst people ever.
People in New York love them, and they just are not the least entertaining radio show in the world.
Mad Dog was actually better than
I agree.
But they were talking shit on him. He was on the Yankees at the time, and he called up, and Mad Dog's just going, "Drop dead, Corey, drop dead." And then like 10 days later, he
dropped out of the sky dead. Yeah,
he dropped dead. Yeah, JFK Jr. fly to plate. All that shit is high risk behavior.
Yeah, it's true. All right, I got my number 6 then. Yeah. Okay. I don't know if you read about this one or not. Like I said, I gave a number 2 to my belief in witches. So this is the Sarah Good curse. I don't know if you're familiar with this.
Well, I'm not. I didn't read about this one.
It's has to do with Salem witch trials. I've been scared of witches my whole life. Ever since I saw The Wizard of Oz when I was a little kid, like way too young probably to watch The Wizard of Oz.
Underrated scary movie, right?
Oh, it's horrifying. The movie's horrifying. I still won't watch it, but that's probably because I was terrified of it as a little kid. It had to do in the Salem witch trials. She was probably maybe not a witch. I don't know. She was found guilty though, but they all were. Under if throw her in the water. If she sinks, she's not a witch. If she floats, she's a witch, and then we have to kill her. That was a great way to try somebody for being a witch. So she was found guilty, and the reverend guy, or forget whatever his name was, who was like trying her, found her guilty. And here's what she says to him: "I'm no more a witch than you are a wizard. Take my life, and God will give you blood to drink." And then, like within a year, he choked to death on his own blood from a hemorrhage in his mouth. That's witch shit. That's a curse.
I mean, it does seem happenstance. However, as has been chronicled from time to time, sometimes our modern history isn't accurate to what actually happened.
Very true. I mean, I think you just throw some curses out during your life, and maybe one's bound to come true.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody will remember the ones that didn't. That's the thing. So if you just start cursing people, one comes true, people remember it, and then they think you have the power to curse people. It's a decent move. Then you got TV. Not bad. Next thing you know, you have a reality TV show or something. Or something. Yeah, it could work. So then my number 5 is, I don't know if it's a curse or what you would call it. I feel like it's along those lines. It's the 27 Club.
That's actually my number 4.
Okay, so we're like around the same spot here.
It is. This one is a freaky coincidence.
It's also like, did you actually like go to the 27 Club Wikipedia page?
No.
There's so many people on it like you've never ever heard of.
Okay, that was the thing. So that was the point I was gonna make. Is it is kind of freaky how all these people are great,
but maybe you've heard of a lot more of them than I have. But like it's like, well, they have like 40 some people on here. Like you're really stretching it. Like there should be some people should have to vote if you get in.
Yeah, just because you die at 27 doesn't mean you make the Hall of Fame of 27-year-old deaths.
Like, do you know the band Surfer Blood? Because some guy named Thomas Fakiti died when.
So I'm looking at it now.
Like, there's a lot of people out here. Like, I guess I'll get
like the keyboardist for Reba McEntire.
Yeah, that seems like a stretch.
Who wasn't? Oh, well, they were in a plane crash.
What about the sound manipulator from the Mars Volta? Like, is that guy even in the band? Or is he just like a guy who like works with the band?
Yeah, like that's definitely a stretch.
There's a guy named Stretch, by the way. Yeah, I'm looking through this. I don't know. I guess Amy Winehouse, I could give that to her. At least I knew who she was.
On this list, I mean, shit.
Like before her though, it's just like I feel like anybody who just dies with their 27, somebody like puts their name on this Wikipedia list.
Yeah, I mean, okay. So here's what I'm looking at.
Here's who I'm giving. You should make your real list 27 Club list. Like,
here's who I'm giving credence to, although he predates it because this is freaking. I didn't realize it. Robert Johnson, because he was poisoned. Yeah, and is considered one of the great guitar players of all time.
Yeah.
Then I'm scrolling down, and I'm going with Brian Jones, Rolling Stone.
That sounds legit. I got you.
Kind of a freaky death. Drown.
Yeah. Okay.
Hendrix,
I'm in on that.
Joplin,
one.
Jim Morrison, who I think is super overrated, nonetheless on the list.
Yeah, counts still. Even if you don't
I'm
like
even going to skip like Pigpen McCarron, who was the founding member of the Grateful Dead and drank himself to death, but no one really knows who that is. Right?
Yeah, it seems like a start shoot. So like Kurt Cobain then.
Then you have Kurt Cobain. Sorry, basis for Hole, you do not count.
Yeah, it's really a shame that like Tupac and Biggie weren't 27. Like that would have really rounded out.
Well, it would have integrated the list a little more too.
It would really help the list up.
It would help the list with, diversity in terms of musical offerings and appearance.
Yeah. And just keep it a little more current, really.
Winehouse counts. For sure.
I think Winehouse counts too. But it's been 5 years now.
Dude, Amy Winehouse's career would have been big. Like she would have done, if she would have sobered up and won like a bunch of Grammys and then like bottomed out again and probably would have died at like 36. But like she had maybe 2 more.
Yeah, but then you don't get on the list. So like that's a good move on her part.
Clearly an intentional one.
Yeah. I think a solid move is somebody should fake their death at 27. Like that seems like a move that somebody should do. So you got to keep an eye on celebs who are going to be.
How old is Miley Cyrus? Not 27 just yet.
No, not 27 just yet. That would be. It's a good move, maybe for her. I don't know though. She doesn't have that like depressed like vibe to her that I feel like you have to get onto this list to really fit.
Yeah, she's not as good as the people on that list. Just
to be fair, she's better than like 35 people on this list.
You're right. You're right. The ones we listed, the good ones.
All right. So then we're on your number 5 then.
My number 5 is just general Friday the 13th superstition.
Yeah, you a big Friday the 13th guy?
No,
do you even notice it?
Not really, but okay. But when
you're
you
writing
do
the date,
notice it,
you're like, ooh, Friday the 13th.
When you do notice it, you are kind of like, oh, Friday the 13th. I mean, does that not like when you just like say it? Aren't you kind of like, oh, that's probably not great?
Like when you accidentally just say it because you're like saying the date out loud.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
so on Friday the 13th, you're like, oh, well, I hope that the next sentence isn't like I'll be proposing or I'll be closing on my house or something like that.
Yeah, it's probably. I bet you could get like a cheap wedding day. Do you think wedding venues are cheaper? I should ask my wife this. You think if wedding venues are cheaper on Friday the 13th?
I don't know, but I am a cheap guy, so I'd be willing to find out.
You need like a Friday the 13th that
I don't think
up.
it's kind of a mistake I'd make twice, but first time.
If you could get it to line up with a full moon or something and then just go all in on it.
Yeah. When Mercury's in retrograde, that's the new Friday the 13th.
Yeah, Friday the 13th. Yeah, I didn't put it on my list, but yeah, you always get that little moment. You're like, oh, it's Friday the 13th. All right. Well, and your number 4 was 27 Club?
Yeah.
All right. So then we're on my number 4. Cool. My number 4 is The Curse of Tecumseh.
That was an interesting one that I actually have read.
That was the president one. The president's dying in office starting in 1840. Is that William Henry Harrison? Was he the first one who died? Like literally, like he got pneumonia giving his like inauguration.
He lasted like 100 days or something, right?
I don't even know if it was that long, but yeah, he basically died from his complications of his inauguration.
That's like the guy that's like George Allen who died from getting a pneumonia from a Gatorade bath after a playoff game.
Yeah, it's not good. So every 20 years. After that, the president who was elected every 20 years, like 1840, 1860, 1880, all the way up through the last one, the breaking. See, I like ones where there's a clear breaking of the curse.
So that's why this curse might not exist.
It doesn't anymore. It was broken because Reagan dodged the bullet. The bullet was taken. The Secret Service guy jumped in front of it, broke the curse.
And even he didn't die, I don't think.
Yeah, see, broke the curse.
Brady.
You got a clear curse breaking. I like a good curse, a good reason for it, not just it stopped. If it stopped, it wasn't a real curse. I feel like this is a real one. They took their shot. The curse took its shot at Reagan, missed, and then I was like, guess I've had enough.
Yeah.
And my number 3 also has a clear breaking.
Okay.
Of the curse, and that's the curse.
How come these curses are broken instead of just proven to be untrue?
Because something clearly awesome happened to break them, like a guy taking a bullet.
All right. That's a fair point.
And number 3, the curse of the Bambino.
That has certainly been broken.
And it was broken by the Red Sox playing the Yankees, the team where the curse basically originated from, and beating them in the most dramatic possible fashion.
Yeah, but if you have the second most resources of any team in all of baseball, your chances to win a World Series are pretty fucking good.
It's true.
So that has nothing to do with it. This is actually, we could talk about this a little more. The genesis of all this stems from a baseball related curse. Which I will discuss at my number 1, I guess.
But yeah, so yeah, Curse of the Bambino. Are they the second most, or the Dodgers?
At the time, okay, so the landscape has changed a little bit. I think the Dodgers have more now, But certainly at the time, the Red Sox had a shitload of money.
Yeah, it's always hard.
Local TV deals changed in like the last 10 or so years.
It's also hard to decide whether spending a shit ton of money is equal to like who has the most resources. Like having the most resources and using the most resources are two different things too.
Yeah, we know that with being in market number 3 and having teams that consistently come in like 22 on payroll.
Yeah. So yeah, Curse of the Bambino. What's your number 3?
Sinatra.
Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
You did mention the song was My Way, right?
My Way, which makes it even better.
It's a great song.
I feel like it's the best possible song for the.
It is honestly the most egotistical song ever written.
Ooh, it probably is. You don't listen to as much rap music as me, though.
You're So Vain is pretty egotistical, actually, for Carly Simon. Ironically.
Yeah, there's a lot of actually really egotistical music. I mean, you have to have some sort of an ego, probably. Even if you're like super depressed musician, you still have some kind of ego.
The great thing about My Way is it is kind of like a rap song. It isn't even like despite anyone. It's just like I was amazing the whole time.
I mean, Sinatra, like really kind of the Rat Pack. I mean, they were essentially rappers. They were like pre-rappers.
They were, although some of those guys probably didn't like. Well, I guess they had Sammy.
They had Sammy, man.
They had Sammy.
He covered all. He covered all of their diversity.
Yeah, Sammy is kind of a wrench. I wonder how the Italian.
And they had a lady too, right?
Sammy.
Didn't they have a lady?
I don't think so. Sinatra was.
No, there was a lady in the Rat Pack. I swear to God. I'm not just thinking of the Rat Pack and like thinking of Demi Moore or something.
I don't recall it, but I'm not a Rat Pack historian. I can't even name the 5th member. It's Bishop, Davis, Dino, Sinatra. I don't even know who the last guy was.
I don't know. They had like tag-alongs though, right? Like there was more. I think there's coming and goings. But yeah, Sinatra though. You're right. My Way is probably the perfect song for it. It's a good song to get. It's probably the best song to get murdered while you're singing karaoke.
Yeah. And there's another great irony that's off the charts right there.
Best song to get murdered to while singing karaoke. I can't think of another one. So then what?
Or it could be like a goodbye song. You know.
Just like closing time. Fun fact, that song's about having a baby. You're like, are you thinking of the lyrics in your head?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Yeah, no, doors are closed until your brothers or your sisters come. It's literally about leaving a woman's vagina.
Whoa. It's shitty. But
it's still shitty, but you kind of want to listen to it quick. What's your number 2?
These are just a brand of curses that I think are hilarious and are a very common device in like teenage scary stories.
Okay.
Monkey paw curses.
I don't even know what that is.
And monkey paw wishes.
This is a camp thing?
It would be in like every single one of those stupid. You do know what this is, man. You know when you get the monkey paw and you're granted wishes and then you make your wishes and they come true, but like you're like, I want to be a millionaire, and then you become a millionaire because your parents get into a car accident and you get their life insurance. Like,
oh, okay. So wait, that's just like the term. So it's like when like the genie just like fucks you on all your wishes.
Yeah, but the specific thing that you wish on is a monkey paw.
Oh,
in these stories.
No, see, I don't actually know that.
Yeah, which is probably Pete is probably not big on this thing.
So monkey paw grants you wishes, but like fucks you on them, kind of. But so you still get it.
But like you're worse off than you would have been without him.
Okay, gotcha. And a rabbit's foot is good luck.
Yes.
So don't wish on a monkey paw, is what you're telling me.
Yes. That is what
Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Now, I had a question about this. Let's say you found a monkey paw and you just gave it to your enemy. Is that wishing him ill will? Or is that without actually wishing it? Do you
I
see
don't.
what I'm
I
saying?
think I see. Well, see, like I said, I don't really know about the monkey paw, but part of me thinks like you actually have to like say the wish for the wish, right?
Okay, because then your enemy, maybe their wishes would just come true to spite you.
Yeah, it's possible, but let's say like when you have a monkey paw, is it unlimited wishes? Like how does it
I
work?
don't remember how that works.
'Cause it's not like a genie. You get like the 3 wishes, and sometimes the genies are dicks, right? And they like screw you in that
They
same
like
way.
cheat and like make it so you just want it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Most genies are dicks. The moral of the story is never like, this guy got all his wishes and now his life is great and it was terrible before.
except like Aladdin.
Well, but he had to realize that he was where his roots, and then he had to win his chance to be prince.
Yeah, that's true. That genie wasn't too bad.
Till he killed himself.
Yeah. So I think this monkey paw thing. I think you can give it. Yeah, I think you can give it. I think it counts. I think the monkey paw doesn't really care about you. It just wants to fuck over whoever's making the wish.
Okay, I see that that is fairly logical as well.
Is that your number 2?
That's my number 2.
All right, my number 2, we already talked about. That was the Kennedy curse. My number 1 is my favorite curse for. Pretty obvious why it's my favorite curse. I mean, it's the Billy Goat curse, right?
Yeah. So my number 1 is all baseball related because so don't say a no hitter.
Don't talk to a pitcher during a no hitter.
Or talk about the fact that there is a no hitter if you're there or watching.
Oh, my favorite thing is to text people about no hitter. Just one of my favorite things.
The Bambino and the Billy Goat. So all the things I was saying about the Red Sox applied earlier, breaking the curse of Bambino, also apply to the Cubs.
They're not going to break it. It's like they're cursed.
Oh man, see that's why you're into this, is because you're just holding on. This is the only thing that's keeping you going, is the Cubs aren't going to win the World Series.
Oh, the Cubs aren't going to win the World Series. It's the craziest thing you've ever said, is that the Cubs are going to win the World Series.
You are selling this so well, because there's a logical part of you that's like, if I had to bet on one team to win the World Series, it would be the Cubs.
No, I wouldn't. There's no way. I mean, the odds were not. I mean, it's an odds thing. I guess if it was like everybody had the same odds, maybe.
Okay, no, but I'm not saying Cubs versus the field.
No, if I had to pick one team, I would pick a team that had longer odds. Because it's baseball.
Okay, but now we're betting with your life.
So it's just my life. I had to pick one team to win the World Series.
Yes.
I'd have to do some research. I don't watch baseball.
Now you're just trumping it, not answering the question when you know the fucking answer.
I'd have to think about it. Are the Giants going to be in the playoffs?
You don't even know if they're going to be in the playoffs.
But it's an even numbered year.
And that's true. That's a reverse curse.
They like win every even number year, don't they? Or
yeah, but they need a new phenom pitcher, and they don't have one right now.
That's tough. You're right. That's part of the equation.
It needs to be a different phenom pitcher.
Isn't that Johnny Cueto?
Oh, well, he wasn't very good in the second.
Yeah, but he could turn it on in the playoffs and just like win every game.
I don't know the Giants. Okay.
Johnny Cueto could check out. You could check that box.
Okay, so basically my argument was that the Cubs are not cursed, and they're probably going to win a World Series in the next 4 or 5 years.
God, come on, man. What in your life has shown you that that's going to happen?
That the team with the most talent doesn't usually win the World Series, but if they get enough chances, they win at least one.
Like the Braves.
One.
Like when they won one out of like 12.
If you get there enough, you're going to break through once.
But that's assuming they're going to be good for that many years in a row.
Yeah, but I think they will be, especially now because 3 teams in the same division can make the playoffs for some ridiculous reason.
But the Braves won one out of like 12 when only like 4 teams were in the playoffs. Now it's even harder once you make the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Yankees were the best team, and they won like 6 out of 8.
They're not cursed.
No,
That's
they have good juju.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's the complete opposite.
I don't know, man. Cubs have an incredible rotation, an incredible bullpen, an incredible lineup.
Okay, so who are their pitchers? They have a pitcher who can't pick off a guy at first base. That won't come back to haunt them in the playoffs. They have a guy named Kyle Hendricks who has he ever really done anything in the playoffs? Nah. They have a guy named Jake Arrieta.
You could say that about Madison Bumgarner.
They have Jake Arrieta, who we know isn't going to get it done in the playoffs because didn't last year when he was on steroids. And now he's giving his steroids to Kyle Hendricks, and he's not as good, so he's still going to suck even worse in the playoffs.
Lester's gotten it done in the playoffs before, and he's having an incredible second half.
That was before he got the yips.
When did that happen?
You can't throw to first base.
Oh, well. He just won't let anyone on base. Next question.
Next question. Who else do they have on their team? That's good.
Lackey.
I can't argue against that guy, man. That's just the fat guy. Fat guys do good in the playoffs.
It's because they got all that strength from their cells.
Nobody's ever gone out injured with pulled fat. That's a fact.
I mean, Bryant, Rizzo. You know who's on their team. You just don't want to acknowledge this is true.
So you got those guys are going to be arguing about who is the top dog in the playoffs. Like that's a fact.
And you got to think Rizzo's pissed that Bryant got the express ads and not him.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I think this is the thing that's going to tear them apart. Like Bryant is like everybody. Rizzo's clearly better looking than Bryant. Am I wrong?
He's super greedy,
but he's better looking.
Yeah, but when you present yourself that way, you're like turning off a large population of females.
Here's the thing, though. He knows he's better looking than Bryant, and Bryant's getting all the pretty boy acclaim, and that's going to tear them apart. You'll see come the playoffs when the bright lights are on.
That'll be it.
That'll be it. And then we got like old guys riding their bikes to the game in uniform like it's the Sandlot.
David Ross is going to make the playoff roster, and it's crazy.
How many? They have like 8 catchers on their playoff roster.
I don't know what they're going to do. You think they're going to?
No, seriously, are they going to have 4? Is Kyle Schwarber going to make the playoff roster?
No, but Montero might. I mean, like, so they had to take Ross because fucking they set this precedent of giving Lester a personal catcher, which is stupid.
You can't like take it away from him for the playoffs.
Well, now he's pitching really well, so you can't fuck with him. And Montero is like far and away the best defensive of those guys.
Yeah, he's the guy who's like really good at like making pitches that aren't strikes look like strikes.
Yeah. And Contreras kills the ball. And they can maybe play in left field on occasion, but that seems like a bad idea in the playoffs.
Yeah, that worked out for him last playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. It seems like a bad idea in the playoffs.
That worked out for him last playoffs. I think if the Cubs are going to win the playoffs, like I think what has to happen is like Rizzo, somebody on the Cubs needs to like murder a goat on the field during play.
All right, I realize we've been talking about this for 10 minutes. We've not actually identified what the curse of Billy Goat is. Quite a while ago, a man tried to bring a goat to the game. They said no. He cursed the team because he was denied entry, and they have since failed to win a World Series. There have been many things done to exercise his curse.
Yeah, but I don't think that you can exercise it unless you're like actually a real part of the team.
Okay, remember when the Bartman ball got blown up and put into goat spaghetti at Harry Carey's?
Yeah, but that wasn't like Anthony Rizzo didn't eat the goat spaghetti.
No, you're right.
Because he would never, as a good Italian boy, he would never eat that trash spaghetti.
He would not.
He would never eat that trash spaghetti.
He would not. No. He would not eat that fancy fucking spaghetti.
No. I mean, here's what's gonna happen. It's what always happens. It's gonna be a game. It's here, and this is I actually believe this. Something's gonna happen. Some game's gonna get close. Something weird's gonna happen. Not anything like super weird. Nothing like crazy, right? Like just like a goofy play, because goofy plays happen in baseball games. That's what happens, right? And it's going to go slightly against the Cubs. And then, because Cubs fans, as much as they're pretending like they are confident, they're not. They're all broken inside. And everybody in that stadium is going to freeze up like a motherfucker. And it's going to get real tight. And it's going to get eerily quiet. And it's going to fucking spook the players. And that's what's going to happen. And it's all going to fall apart.
You're just basically were like, this happened. You basically just like were like, this is what happened in 2003.
It happens all the time in baseball. It happened to the Red Sox 1 million times. It happened to the Cubs. Like it's what happens with teams that have like fucked up fans who expect bad things to happen to them. It's what happens.
All right, the Cavs were down 3-2 to the best team in the history of basketball.
3-1.
3-1 was it?
3-1.
All right, so Cleveland is a cursed. People just curse the city of Cleveland. I don't know who did it.
I don't think the city of Cleveland's cursed. I just think it's a shithole. But there's no the Cubs don't have the second best baseball player of all time on their team.
Who is it?
They don't. LeBron James is the second best basketball player of all time.
Oh, I thought there was like some smart ass answer, like Dave Roberts or something like that.
Yeah, Dave. Yeah, they don't have. It's Kevin Millar.
It's Kevin Millar.
I couldn't even be less. I'm not even going to turn on the games. I know it's going to happen.
What are you going to do if the Cubs do win the World Series?
I haven't even thought about it. Like I don't know. I mean, they're going to be in the playoffs. Who are they going to play?
I don't know. I don't follow it that closely, to be honest with you.
The Cardinals going to be in the playoffs?
Cardinals going to be in the playoffs. They could definitely
wild card. They're going to get one of those dirty wild cards, right?
Yeah.
Are they going to get that? Is that wild card game going to be like Cardinals versus Giants or something crazy like that?
It might be.
So Cubs got to beat one of those teams? Get out of here. Those are teams that know how to win when winning matters.
Is that how that works? Can you still play a team from your division in the wild card round?
Yeah, I think you can now. I think the number one seed, like that's an actual very distinct advantage, is to get to play that team.
Oh, you're right, because they already used the pitcher.
Yeah, so I think they got rid of that weird, stupid thing where you couldn't play a team in your division.
Basically, the Yankees-Red Sox rule.
Yeah, so they can only play the ALCS or whatever. Yeah. But no, because it's actually a distinct advantage to play against that team, the winner of that game, because they blew their best pitcher, theoretically.
Although they're probably really hot, which is a major flaw in that whole logic.
And the other thing is the Cardinals don't even have a really good pitcher, do they? So it doesn't even matter if they blow.
No, they don't.
Doesn't even matter. Doesn't matter who they pitch.
They're like the home run hitting team. Yeah.
Cardinals have the opposite of bad are the opposite of cursed. They just pull wins out of their asses. They won a World Series with like 83 wins once.
They're the worst team ever to win the World Series. After they had like a bunch of 100-win teams.
And then win.
Fail.
See, they built up all that good karma. Cubs don't have any of that. No good karma for the Cubs.
We shall see.
Hope you guys liked our baseball podcast.
That's as close as I forget. I'm not saying that they're going to win it. I'm just saying that they have the best chance to win it. And I mean, logically, the best team doesn't usually win in baseball. And I'm saying
so you don't want to be the best during the regular season.
The best team doesn't win in baseball because the playoffs not a representative sample of a 162 game season when you play 1 game, 5 games, 7 games. That's just how it is.
Yeah, the 1 game thing's so dumb.
It should be 2 divisions with 4 total teams in the playoffs.
Sure, yeah.
If you want to crown the true champion in terms of, or at least, whatever. You're the champion if you win. But to value the regular season appropriately in a sport that very much values...
Because you play 1 million games.
How many games, the sport that values the structure of the season the way baseball does, you should not have this many teams in the playoffs.
Yeah. No, yeah. Champion is whoever wins the championship, not necessarily the
And
best team.
you know what? It's different. It matters more in baseball because they are so sacrosanct about the ritual and that it's every day. And the best team seldom wins the Super Bowl either, but no one I don't care about. I mean, playoffs are a different animal in the NFL.
Yeah, it's one game. And I mean, you don't have another option in the NFL, right? There's
and like
you can't be like we're gonna play a best of 7 series in the NFL like this. Like
that would be your only playoffs.
It would just be like the NFC team with the most wins versus the AFC team with the most wins, best of 7.
That would actually be kind of fucking awesome.
It would be.
I love that idea so much.
Yeah, that would be amazing. It could be amazing or it could be terrible.
Well, there have been some great wouldn't it have been great to see like Denver and Minnesota play 5 times and whatever that was 98 instead of Denver fucking Atlanta.
Like the last couple Super Bowls, I think, would have been decent ones to run back a few times. I mean, like Peyton Manning would win a Super Bowl and throw 17 interceptions during the series. It would be amazing.
Peyton Manning would have so many more Super Bowls if that was the structure.
What? Oh, because he would have been in so many more.
Well, yeah, he was constantly the regular season champion.
Yeah. He would have been in. You're right. He would have been in so many more. Yeah, the odds would have just been better for him.
Yeah. He would have been in fucking thing every year. Eli would have none.
The Patriots would have like bullshit. The Patriots would have like 1 or 2. The Patriots would have won the year they didn't win.
Well, they never would have had to play the 9-win Giants.
Yeah, but they wouldn't have made those other Super Bowls. They won.
You're right.
They would have won the ones they didn't win.
Especially that first one when they were kind of a bullshit team. I think they were actually pretty good that first. I think they won like 11 games.
Yeah, was that the
year they beat the Rams?
Yeah. When they were like huge underdogs, right? That was like historic.
I have 2 friends that talk about that Super Bowl completely differently. One is from Boston, went to Mizzou, calls it the greatest week of his life because all he did was hear shit all week and he didn't say anything because he really didn't.
Was it also just the year after the Rams won, or was it like 2 years after?
It was 2 years after, which is like kind of a normal thing with Super Bowls, right?
Yeah, you kind of don't go back the next year.
It was 2 years after, and he's like, I just heard shit. It might have been 2 straight weeks, and I thought they were going to lose, so I didn't say anything. And they won, and it was the greatest day of my life. And then he talked shit.
Yeah, like being like.
And then he has talked shit every day about Boston for 14 years, and it has been terrible.
Yeah, like you were like happy for him for like a minute there at the beginning.
It was before I was at MU, so I never even knew him in his sad days.
Oh, you didn't. Okay.
This is the same guy that I talked to after they beat the Yankees in 2003, and I was like, so man, how you feeling about the World Series? Like, I really wanted to root for him. He goes, you kidding me? We're going to sweep him. And it just enraged me that I was like, so you have had like all this terrible luck and you still have the confidence to say we're going to sweep them? And then they did.
Oh my God.
And then you talk to my buddy from St. Louis about the Super Bowl. He goes, fucking Patriots, fucking Holden, fucking Belichick, cheaters. And they are very handsy. They were very handsy with the finesse Rams if you look at the tape.
Yeah, it was just how you did it back then.
They don't call penalties in the Super Bowl. It's already a 5-hour game. It's a fundamental tenet of Bill Belichick's Super Bowl strategy.
Yeah, it's the old
make them call it. Make them blow the whistle.
The Seahawks defense too. There's a few teams that do that. Except for like unless you're playing against Peyton Manning, that's a rule that you're not allowed to do anything against Peyton Manning teams. That's a standard rule because they'll change the rules if you touch Peyton.
Oh man, we're hitting on all your meatballs. You're anti-Manning.
When is Peyton Manning gonna go away? He's somehow in more commercials.
I can't believe how many fucking commercials this guy is in. I mean, I can. It's good business.
The worst is like he's gonna like do these commercials for a few years, and he's gonna be slowly fading away, and then it's gonna be like Sunday Night Football.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he's gonna be like the new Chris Collinsworth.
No doubt. Or he's gonna do a studio show.
Oh, he's gonna do a studio show before that. He's gonna be like, yeah, he's gonna be like the. You're right. He's never going away.
Now, because fans of the SEC are crazy. People are already like, well, when we fire our coach at Tennessee.
No.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tennessee's the best. Tennessee fans might be my favorite delusional fans.
Is amazing.
But what about, are they going to, but Gruden and him are both offensive guys, so I don't understand how they're going to work on the same staff. Peyton, quarterback coach?
Well, I mean, associate head coach.
Yeah, they do that.
Coach emeritus.
Yeah, so they do that in the SEC too. That's a classic.
Yeah, it's a big SEC move.
So like John Gruden, head coach, Peyton Manning, associate head coach, offensive coordinator, and quarterback coach.
Well, Eli Manning's gonna have to be the quarterback coach.
No, Eli is gonna be the offensive coordinator at Ole Miss.
Good point. Yeah, T. Martin can be the quarterback's coach.
They don't have a defensive coach though.
That's part of the problem right now, I believe, for them.
All right,
too bad Reggie White died.
We should probably wrap this up unless people want more.
This was just meandering, and I'm sure you all loved it, and you're welcome.
All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. Like I said, share us. I always say share us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook and iTunes and all that good stuff. And we will talk to you later.